Good morning and welcome to the AM News here on the JoyNews channel. Now, Vice President Dr. Bawumia is touting his dedication and allegiance to the NPP, positioning himself as a suitable choice to lead the party. He pledges to carve a distinct path towards economic prosperity if chosen as the NPP's leader. With the party's Super Delegates Congress just 3 days away, Samuel Mbra from our political desk sheds light on his candidacy.
He is an economist with experience at the central bank. He transitioned into politics and was the first to introduce a data-driven narrative in Ghana's political landscape, gaining trust among Ghanaians. His prominence peaked during the 2012 election petition.
Let us put down my analysis and show me one repeated polling station in my analysis. If you are afraid of the truth, then of course you will hide behind these exhibit numbers.
His father, Bawumia, co-founded the Northern People's Party, with SD Dombo contributing to the birth of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, sparking arguments for the Dombo faction to lead the NPP, given the historical representation of Dankwa and Buzia.
They will be in trouble. They know we will break the gates. They know John Mahama cannot take me on in the north. I will beat him in the north. I will beat him in the north. They know it.
However, some contend that politics transcends tribal lines and prioritizes competence. His role in reducing the NPP's parliamentary deficit from over 80% to under 60% in the northern regions since 2008 is highlighted, making him a strong contender against NDC's John Mahama after the 2020 elections. Dr. Bawumia's candidacy garners extensive nationwide endorsements from both within and outside the NPP. Notably, Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, Dan Botry, is among NPP stalwarts supporting him.
Based on my knowledge and experiences in the party, I have come to conclude that Dr. Bawumia is the right person who holds the future of this party. So please, I will urge all of you to come out together to vote for Dr. Bawumia.
The Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, is passionately underlining his dedication to the NPP, emphasizing he has never abandoned his responsibility.
I have sacrificed for the party. I have defended the party in good times and in challenging times. I have never wavered or slacked. Never.
He therefore assures that if elected, he will lead the country towards economic prosperity.
Together with you, I want to see a Ghana with an education system tilted towards STEM, robotics, artificial intelligence, digital and vocational skills to cope with the demands of the fourth industrial revolution.
Though several surveys predict a landslide victory for him, the Super Delegates Congress will be the litmus paper to test how strong his signal is to lead the NPP. For JoyNews, Samuel Mbra.
Royals from the four recognized gates of the Wala traditional area have thrown their weight behind flag bearer hopeful and Vice President Dr. Bawumia, urging the delegate to vote massively for him in Saturday's special voting. According to them, among the 10 aspirants, Dr. Bawumia stands tall, and given the opportunity, he will be the one who can transform and stabilize the country's economy. JoyNews' Upper West regional correspondent Rafiq Salam report from Wa.
The press conference, which was held at Niriyangpong, a place reserved for the selection of a new overlord of the Wala traditional area, was attended by Nabihi or royals from all the four recognized gates in the Wala traditional area that are heirs to the Wala throne. According to the Wala royals, among the 10 competent, fine and respected gentlemen that have expressed their intention to put themselves before the special delegates of the New Patriotic Party NPP is one of their own and Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Governor Jamaldeen Adam Akpala read a statement on their behalf.
After a deep reflection and critical scrutiny of the aspirants, we have come to a firm conclusion that His Excellency Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is the man of the moment with the requisite qualification, experience, competence, appeals to the voters, temperament, vision, strategy to consolidate the gains made so far by the government of President Akufo-Addo in its march to transform the structure of the economy and accelerate the socio-economic development in today's technological and digitalized global setting. The country saw a steady economic improvement between 2017 and 2019 with pro-poor policies of free education, improvement in roads, health, agriculture, industry, employment for the youth. The challenges of COVID and other global issues have twisted this trajectory. The government is holding on, and a turnaround is envisaged. Given the chance, Dr. Bawumia will see this country through and put her on the course of economic transformation and stability.
Given the opportunity, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will put the country on the right track, transform the economy, and stabilize it. They averred that the vision and principles of the NPP and the Akufo-Addo government is in sync with that of the forebears of the Northern People's Party in pre-independence.
Alhaji Biki Adama Wala South, Jato Kaleo Wala North, SD Dombo, Jirapa Lambuse, Abaifa Kabo, Lora Nandong, Momunu Bawumia, South Mampusi East, CK Tedam, Kasina Nankana North, J.A. Brima, Gonja East, Adama Amandi, Boku, Yakubu Tali, Tolona, Dagomba South, to mention a few. These were proud princes of the North, most of whom later in life ascended to traditional kings and continued to serve their people. This is what Dr. Bawumia brings: leadership without discrimination and leadership with a vision to confront the challenges in contemporary times where technology and information shape the global economy. He has shown his mettle and capacity that, given a chance, he can harness this party's rich human capital to accelerate the party's transformation agenda to raise the fortunes of this country, to take up Ghana's true place as a front runner in Africa's development.
Now, the head of mental health unit at the Techiman Zuno Hospital, Twang Gilbert, has expressed concerns over the lack of mental health facilities in the area. He said the number of mental health illnesses recorded in farming communities is on the rise, as most farmers are into the abuse of hard drugs to aid their work, and steps need to be taken to incorporate mental health services into the National Health Insurance Scheme. And Asabet has more in this report.
Substance use and misuse can affect every aspect of a person's life, and health experts say substance abuse is contributing to the increase in mental health cases, particularly amongst rural folks where access to treatment centers are limited. Head of Mental Health Unit at Zuno Hospital, Twang Gilbert, says most farmers are into hard drug abuse due to its ability to aid their work whilst on the field.
In my area of practice as a mental health officer, I've come across so many conditions of mental health concern. In our jurisdiction, commonly we come across the tramadol and then the weed or marijuana abuse, which is leading to addiction. So we have realized that in this our area or this jurisdiction, the mental health cases arising are commonly from the substances. And we know we are surrounded by a lot of farming communities, which commonly they abuse some of these hard drugs just to be able to work or to stay on their feet and work. And then the cases we have recorded so far accounting to mental health conditions are coming from the hard drugs.
The mental health expert expresses worry at the unavailability of rehabilitation centers throughout the Middle Belt and asks that Zonio Hospital is working towards establishing the first rehabilitation center in the region.
If you look at the area from the Middle Belt coming to the Northern Belt, we can only count one, which I know is in Kumasi Rehabilitation Center. The rest, we have to transport patients from Techman and then from the north to Accra or Cape Coast, who have the major rehabilitation centers. Apart from that, we cannot boast of any rehabilitation center in our Northern Belt, even in Bono East or Bono region. So we have taken this initiative. We want to be the first facility to set up this facility to take care of the needs of people suffering from addiction and their mental health problems.
He wants the National Health Insurance Authority to incorporate mental health into its care. He also wants government to subsidize the treatment cost of mental health to help enroll more mental health patients onto the scheme.
To the best of my knowledge, NHI doesn't cover rehabilitation. That is to the best of my knowledge. It is very necessary if NHI or government, Ministry of Health or Ghana Service is able to incorporate this into the client care. A lot of people come into this not because of their own will. Some are peer group influence, some are lured into it. So you realize that some people are really willing to get out of it, but the resources to be able to get out of it is what the problem is. So if government is able to subsidize the treatment or management of addiction or the rehabilitation care, a lot of people will be willing to enroll on it.
Reporting for JoyNews, Anas Sabit, Tichiman.
All right, this is still the AM on the JoyNews channel. Now, the union has announced 60 Ghanaian students selected to pursue the prestigious Erasmus Mundus Joint Master's Degree program in top academic institutions in Europe. The EMJMD is one of the initiatives under the Erasmus Education Scholarship, which supports international mobility and contributes to strengthening Africa's technical and higher education space. There is more in this report.
The all-expenses-paid master's degree scholarship is a unique opportunity for students to broaden their career horizons, gain top-class knowledge, and develop global perspectives while studying in renowned European universities. The selection for the Erasmus plus Mundus Joint Master's Degree is a highly competitive process, attracting numerous potential students from Ghana applying for the coveted opportunity. At a pre-departure event in Accra, the EU ambassador to Ghana, Erchad Razali, said the opportunity offered the successful applicants is one among the EU's commitment to its partnership with Ghana in education. Erchad Razali is confident that the scholarship will prepare the successful student for a competitive career.
So today we organized the stand-up event for the young Ghanaians who have benefited from Erasmus Plus scholarship. This is one of the most successful EU program in Europe and throughout the world. And this year I'm very, very happy and proud to see that we are sending 60 young Ghanaians to perform studies, undergraduate and graduate studies throughout Europe. This is so far the highest number of students that we are sending. Last year we have sent 45. We are very happy already, but today is very rewarding because these are new students will discover Europe, will learn in the best university in Europe, and hopefully will make a contribution for their communities and for the country.
Some beneficiaries spoke to JoyNews. The EU says it is increasing investment in quality education and working with partner countries to strengthen cooperation on research and innovation.
How I landed this scholarship, I'll say that it was recommended by my friend. It was something global, so he sent me the link. and I applied. They have their own criteria. I just followed. You put up your motivation and all that. So I did everything, and I was waiting on them to call me. So I was there one time in June, and they texted me that I'm now a beneficiary of the scholarship, and I'm very glad. It wasn't that easy because there were a lot. I was once on a reserve list, and I was later pushed to the main list. There's a whole lot. It has not been easy though, but in all, I just want to say I'm grateful to God too.
I got to know about Erasmus Mundo's program online. It was, I think, a recommendation because of my past searches, right? So I got to know about it. Then I went through the entire master's programs they have. I read about what they were doing within those programs. Then I selected the ones I was interested in. I noted down their opening dates, and then I incorporated them into my calendar. So whenever they open, I got an alert. Yes. Yeah, and then I realized you could apply to more. Initially, there was a cap on the number of programs you could apply to, but I realized there was more. Like you could apply to any amount, any number, right? So I applied to just two because I felt it wasn't really a good use of my time if I was going to do so many of them. So I applied to two, and I got into one.
Karen Obeng's report read to you.
Now, Ghana's biggest street art festival went on a full blast on day 2 of the carnival, offering patrons an array of creative displays. Artists depicted extraordinary pieces of art that communicated many stories. My colleague Jacqueline Ansumaya was at the event and reports.
Yet another day, and it's time for the second day of the Chalewote Festival. And yes, you're right here at the Osu Castle, as I told you yesterday. And today is still all about the celebration of art and culture. Now, I got here not long ago, and I've been attracted by all these artworks that I'm surrounded by. I go over to talk to most of the artists who are partaking in the 13th edition of the Chalewote Festival.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. What's your name?
My name is Charity Debia Katie.
Tell me more. Join me here. Yes. Tell me more about this beautiful artwork. It's like I see a man, I see a woman, I see a lot. Tell me more.
Okay, so both of these artworks, especially this one, talks about slavery, and especially the focus on Afro-Brazilian slaves and the way they were able to leave Brazil and come back to Ghana in 1836 and eventually settled in Jamestown. So I tried to talk about the women, especially the women.
Just because you're a woman.
Just because I'm a woman, and their contribution towards freedom. So this is more like how they wish their lives were, a pillar, an undisturbed environment. So this is just about this one. And so most times I would do my work on bleached fabric, not the conventional use of canvas as you always.
So this is a bleached fabric?
Yes. So I prepare this myself. I tie it like the way you tie tie-dye, and then I use bleach on it, and then at the end of the day I have accidental patterns. So that's my own style.
When you say accidental patterns,
yeah, accidental patterns, because I don't do that, having a circle there and do that, but I just tie, and whatever the bleach gives me, that's what I get as my background.
Okay, but this is beautiful. And are these, what are these?
These are cow horns.
Cow horns?
Yes.
I'm just trying to picture a cow. So you just cut them into pieces?
Yeah, I cut them into pieces and arrange them in a figure portrait, and I weave them with a fishing line to create my portraits, to tell stories about we the blacks and how important cow horn is it to us, but rather we pay less attention to it. We rather see it as a waste product, but we don't take much attention to it. So I cut them into pieces and try to make figure out of it.
Okay, that is really interesting. How long did it take for you to make this one?
It took me about 4 to 5 weeks.
This cute thing here, is this your artwork? Tell us a little bit more about it. It looks very cute. I might take it away. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, that's actually Toaje the Red Hunter from the north.
Toaje? I hope I got the pronunciation correct.
Yeah,
Toaje the Hunter.
Yeah, the Red
Tell us more about Toaje the Red Hunter.
He's actually a warrior and a chief that led some of the Dagombas in the old times. Yeah.
Like from Dagomba?
No, please, I schooled there.
Oh, okay. So that inspired you a little bit.
Yeah, he's actually retelling Ghanaian stories, so it inspires me a lot. So I used to talk about it.
Okay. How long did it take for you to make this?
It's actually a day. A day's job.
Oh, you used the day to make this? Oh, and it's heavy too. What? It's hollow, but it looks very heavy. But anyways, what materials did you use to make this one?
Red clay.
Red clay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's something that you've been doing for how long?
About 12 years now.
He's speaking to patrons who are here on their thoughts about the 13th edition of the Chalewote Festival. Vanessa.
I'm from Denmark. So I'm here for vacations. It's good to experience this festival. It was my friend who introduced about this. So it's really good to know the culture. I like arts, but African are different. So it's something I can learn. I don't know too much about it, so I'm here to learn also about it.
Missed out on the Chalewote festivities. Live and colored happening right at the Osu Castle, Christian Borg Castle inside Accra. Just take a car and come. Witness beautiful art and culture. We've had the procession, there's art, there's food, there's music, there's film labs. Just as you see behind me currently, ongoing is a film lab for the artists talking about the history of Africans, the slave trade, a lot more about the themes that they worked on. So don't miss out. We still have more days to go on the 13th edition of Chalewote. For JoyNews, Jacqueline Ansuma Yeboah.
So do pass by today and experience the sort of incredible art on display at the Chalewote Festival. It's ongoing in Osu. So do make a date with it today. And that's how we wrap up today's bulletin. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. Up next is a news review on the show. Stay with us.